In this video lesson, let's explore palpation of the triceps brachii muscle. We'll demonstrate it on the right side. We have our client Marianne lying prone, and her upper arm is supported and resting on the table, and her forearm is hanging down vertically. And the nice thing about this position is that her elbow joint is in flexion, so we can ask her to try to do extension of the forearm at the elbow joint against resistance to engage the triceps brachii. The triceps brachii has three heads, and the long head crosses the shoulder joint to attach onto the infraglenoid tubercle of the scapula, and the medial and lateral heads pretty much attach to the entire posterior surface of the humerus, and all three heads together cross the elbow joint posteriorly to attach onto the olecranon process of the ulna. Now, the triceps brachii is superficial for almost its entire course, but it will go deep to the posterior deltoid at the more proximal end, especially that long head proximal tendon going to the scapula. So let's start mid-belly right about here. I'll place my finger pads nice and flat with gentle to moderate pressure against her. And since the muscle is superficial here, it should be pretty apparent. And Marianne, you're going to try to do extension of the elbow joint, and I'll give you some resistance. Press against me. And we can see the triceps brachii engage and push my fingers out, relax, and I sink in, contract and press against me, and we can see it engage and push me out, relax. So once we know we have a good contraction engagement of our target muscle here, then we can explore to find the borders of it. So press against me again, and I can feel it contract there, relax, soft, contract, hard, so I'm still on it, relax. I move a baby step more toward the anterior side. It feels soft, press against me. It's actually still soft when I press a little this way, so I'm off it at this point, relax. But if I press more in at that angle there, press against me, it gets hard, relax. So I found the border of triceps brachii with brachialis right over here. So now I know how far it goes on this side, the lateral side of the arm. I can go back to the middle, press against me, it engages and hardens, relax, baby step, contract, hard, relax, soft, baby step more, contracts and gets hard, relax, it softens. You know you're on your target muscle when they're relaxed, it's soft, and when they contract, it hardens. Because if you have a joint action you're asking them to engage in, and there's no other muscle in the area that does that joint action, then the only muscle that can contract and harden must be your target muscle. So it's the only hard, soft tissue amidst the sea of soft tissues. So I would keep going around, press against me, hardens, relax, baby step, go ahead, press, hardens, relax, baby step even more, press against me, up. I no longer feel anything hardening, relax, so I must be off it, so I found the border of it there. So I have my borders, and I can strum it there. And now I can discern the lateral and medial borders of triceps brachii. And I would do that running sequentially down in baby steps distally toward the olecranon process attachment. So press against me here, relax, baby step, press against me, hardens, relax, baby step, press against me, press, 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 there we go, relax. And then I can again go toward lateral and medial borders. And I can get right down to the tendon right there, press against me, up, really apparent. There it is right there, relax. And when I get to the actual tendon attachment on the bone of my target muscle, I always want them to be relaxed at the end so I can feel the difference between the relatively soft tendon tissue and the hard bony tissue. Press against me again, Marianne, because if I actually have her contract, the tendon is so hard when it's tense that it feels like bone, and I might not know when I get onto bone and go onto bone well off the muscle, because this is certainly not the distal tendon of triceps brachii here, relax. Whereas when she's relaxed, I can feel relatively soft tendon, hard bone, so I know that that's its distal attachment there. Now, I started mid-belly and went distally. We could go back to mid-belly and work our way proximally. So press against me again. There it is there. I go a baby step. There it is. I go a baby step. There it is. Baby step. I go around medial. Baby steps running laterally. Relax. soft, press against me. It's still hard, relax, even more laterally, soft, press against me. I'm just at the border of it there, relax. I can tell it's right over in there, and I can feel that now I'm getting over to deltoid. And once I get to this point, it's going to be deep to deltoid. Now I'll show a moment longer from this position, but then I'm going to change our position for where I'm seated for me to more easily access the proximal end of triceps brachii. Marianne, I'm going to ask you to try to bring your arm, your upper arm, at the shoulder joint up toward the ceiling. And this joint action here is called horizontal extension. And the posterior deltoid is really good at horizontal extension, so it will really engage. So my resistance will be against you here. Let the elbow joint stay relaxed, and now press up against me. Press, press, press. And you might even be able to see this. Here is the posterior deltoid right over in here, and this is the border of posterior deltoid. Relax fully. So this is going to be the point where triceps brachii is going to go deep to posterior deltoid, and I'm then going to have a choice. I'm either going to try to continue palpating that long head of triceps brachii through the posterior deltoid, or I can try to push posterior deltoid out of the way and scoot down under it, deep to it, to get to long head of triceps brachii. But to do that, I'm going to need to be sitting over there, so we will make a transition now. So now with me seated more toward the foot end, the caudal end of the table, it's a little bit easier for me to demonstrate this. Let's find that border of posterior deltoid again. You're going to try to horizontally extend that way. Press against me, press. And there it is right there. She has very nice definition. So triceps brachii is right in here, running right to this point where it goes deep. Okay, now relax. So now with a close-up, we can better visualize this. So go ahead and press up against me this way. Press, press, press. And there we have the border. This is posterior deltoid right over in here. There's the border. Triceps brachii is right in here. Relax. And triceps brachii from this point proximally will go deep to posterior deltoid. So I can try to feel it through posterior deltoid. So if I ask you to, and you can't see this in the camera view right now, but I'm asking her to try to extend the forearm at the elbow joint against my resistance and relax. I want to go a little gentler. I'm afraid that deltoid is going to kick in to stabilize in some way. Press against me gently, and I can feel engagement of triceps brachii there. Relax. And a little more proximally. Go ahead and relax. I think I can feel it. Move a little here. Again. And there it is right down in there. Relax. And I can try to follow it right to that infraglenoid tubercle on the lateral border of the scapula, just inferior to the glenoid fossa. But in this position, if I can slacken her posterior deltoid, and I could do that by holding her up in horizontal extension so the posterior deltoid shortens and slackens, then I could try pushing the posterior deltoid out of the way and dropping down toward the floor onto long head of triceps brachii tendon. And in this position, if you extend your elbow joint, go ahead and relax. I want you to do it gentler. Go ahead. There we go. There's triceps brachii engaging, relax, without any other musculature stabilizing, contracting. So I could try and follow it by pushing deep to posterior deltoid. And how successful you will be, how far proximal toward the scapula you will get, will be based really on how relaxed and loose the deltoid is and whether or not it's like fascially adhesed down with adhesions, fibrous adhesions and all. And the other thing to keep in mind is client comfort. You really need to have short and smooth fingernails when you are really reaching in deep into the tissue there. So this has been a very nice exploration of palpation of the triceps brachii muscle.